I bet you like to eat all your Skittles at one time.
No, I sort them by color, and then I eat them in like the flavor winning combinations in a specific sequence.
Nerd. All right, guys, here we are to talk about the movie Satan's Little Helper. 2004, Satan's Little Helper. Lee, had you seen this one before?
No, but it's legendary. The box is legendary. And I think someone maybe drunkenly explained the plot to me once. And I said, that sounds great. And he said, it is not. And that's all I knew going in.
So I think I'd only ever seen this once before this review,
right
so
now,
I rewatched it. But it left an impression on me. It immediately went into my picks. Like it was a recommended, here you go, check this movie out. I've recommended it to a couple other people. As I rewatched it, I couldn't remember a lot of the ending of this movie. So like, there's some twists and turns here that I think it's certainly worth a rewatch, because I like this movie a lot and couldn't remember at all how a lot of stuff went down.
I was going to describe it as like a lot of twists and turns there at the end. A lot of things happen there. I don't think this is great. It's certainly unique and like interesting. I feel like you think it's great.
I think it is definitely great for what it is. This is clearly a very low budget movie, but it does things that are both like good and so bad that they're great.
Yeah, like
but not in a way that you would ever say like a bad movie. Like at no point does it dip into being a bad movie, but it becomes super outlandish.
It kind of looks and feels like on the lower budget bad movie like range. Maybe TV movie, but not so bad that like you can't hear the words that are being spoken or something like that.
Audio is generally fine. It does have a color grading that is of the ilk of home movie at points.
There was a certain like prosumer digital era that I feel like we all went through, and it feels like that and stuff. So if that's going to turn you off, then that's not going to work, right? But yeah, it's the
actual premise though is pretty great.
The premise is great, and it's like weird enough that I would certainly recommend checking it out. I know for me, I saw the cover of that box for years and thought like, that's a good pun of a name. That's probably whatever, and just never watched it for some reason, right?
I always think of Santa's Little Helper, the dog from The Simpsons, and not just these token line that is
I was going to say that's a phrase.
I directly think of Santa's Little Helper, the dog. But no, this movie, like the non-spoilers plot is a boy obsessed with Satan finds a man dressed up as Satan who happens to be a serial killer and like assists him.
He wants to be his helper, and it's Halloween, so all that makes sense, because otherwise it'd be like, what's going on? There's a pumpkin, whatever. Would you put this in like the group watch category? Where do you put this?
I think this is fine for a standalone watch. Okay. This is I think definitely enhanced with a group watch. It has the lead actress here. I can't remember her name, but she's on a show Vikings that I liked, and she plays like the badass girl with like the eye makeup across the face.
So the daughter's on like Vikings, which I know nothing about. The mom is Amanda Plummer, who's Honey Bunny and a bunch of other stuff. So I was like, oh, I know her. Like the mom.
And the young boy did two things in his whole life.
Like most other people involved in this did like nothing else. So you're just like, okay, whatever.
The killer, the guy who plays Satan, had a funny credit that I now forget, but I'll flash.
Some other thing.
Yeah, he did three things. It was like the gay tourist or something.
Oh God, like gay guy on street or something.
Yeah, it was something like that.
No, because I go look, I'm like, these people don't don't look familiar to me, and then as you drill down, you're like, this is just sapid. So I don't know the story behind this movie or what's going on here. I think even the writer, director, whoever guy, didn't do anything else or didn't do much else. I wouldn't swear that.
Nothing jumped out at me, at least. I don't think I looked too hard, but this would have been one where I've been like, I would love to see what this guy does. Like, give this guy money. I want to see more stuff from this writer-director combo.
I would love to see whoever produced this with like more money and like a better editor and like some other stuff, like go at something else, right? But I think you need to like movies that are a certain level of bad to like get into this, right? So I think
I'll say it definitely. There's a barrier to entry here, but I think this rides that cusp where it's almost not even like like one of those bad B movies. It's like no, that's just a very lower budget movie. I think it falls in there, and it has enough twists and turns and outlandish bullshit that it's fun for the whole family. Unless nudity or killing hurts you, then it's not fun for the whole family.
If you have a cool family, then that's okay.
All right, guys. So we're gonna spoil the shit out of this. Follow us over there if you've seen it. If not, pull out now.
If you need a place to rent content, you better listen. We're Cannibal Video, and we eat the competition.
Here we are for the spoilers of Satan's Little Helper. So right from the jump, this starts off with like a very bad flash animation.
10 points, 50 points, bonus points, 100 points. Mom, he's ripping his guts out.
Which was almost endearing to me at the time as like, you know, an animation guy. I was like, oh, they're using Flash.
How is it now?
Oh, it's worse.
Okay, I was gonna say, ooh.
It does that thing though where like it is supposed to be a video game and like they loop the same footage multiple times when someone's playing the game, which, you know, you would play the same level over and over again. It's like a simple concept game, but he has it for like the computer and he has it for some weird like Palm Pilot or something. I don't know what that is supposed to be.
Like a weird early Palm Pilot or phone like turned sideways where I'm like, and it appears to be playing on it because because the boyfriend's later holding it and it seems to be good with the angle and stuff. So I'm like, they didn't like add that in like, you know, in post.
Crap. Oh no, God's getting us.
It's like a video looping, like you're saying.
I think so.
So the game is Satan's Little Helper, which the kid has latched onto and crafted a whole personality around.
Yeah,
I will become the helper. Yeah,
got to avoid God,
which is admirable,
and gut people and do all kinds of bad.
He loves it.
He does love it, folks. And I do think that there's something cool and endearing about this, but I do think like he's a third grader, and I'm like, a third grade? I'm like, I don't know how many of these things I would have been like, oh, I believe that, this and this.
It's crazy.
A little bit, like, but if he was younger, it would have been more difficult to actually do, I think. So like, he's the right age for what he has to be.
So I did not remember them mentioning how old he was or what grade he was in it, and the whole time I was like trying to figure it out. Where I'm like, you can't be old enough to do this and not old enough to like my notes say it's the dumbest kid ever or something like that.
It's so fun how my sister thinks you're Alex, and then you pretend to get her.
And then later it's like, it's the dumbest family. The whole family's dumb.
Well,
like,
the family's definitely weird. And the kid, like, you know, he might be dumb because by third grade, I knew you can't marry your own sister for sure.
Jenna's my girlfriend. I'm going to marry her.
And he still wants to.
They didn't get to incest yet.
I don't think they got up to the word incest in the third grade yet.
That's what I thought was so funny. Like they don't need to go into incest.
Incest is not covered in school.
It's probably covered in sex ed.
That's not the first time you hear about it.
Well, I'm sure I heard about it before then.
Probably from the movie, Satan's Little Helper.
Of course. I didn't know about it till 2004.
Exactly. It was a big year for all of us.
But I think, like, you know, we do have to take certain, you know, like leeways and liberties to allow things to happen here. But I love the concept. So the movie is about a kid who wants desperately to be this you know, Satan character's little helper, and he will kill his enemies and help him get to his sister alone. He doesn't like this new boyfriend in the picture, and he sees a guy kill somebody, and he's like, oh, are you Satan?
Are you Satan? Wait, I'm Douglas Whooly. Can I be your helper?
And he twists and turns his mother's advice about, like, well, there's not an actual Satan, but there can be a guy in a costume. And he's like, Satan must take the form of a person in a costume.
Unless, of course, she's wearing a costume like his little helper does.
Yes!
Must be wearing a costume.
And, like, uses the same rationale to be like, why he's not talking. It's because, oh, he doesn't need to. He's Satan.
Can you talk? Then why don't you? 'Cause you don't need to?
Yeah, so the kid makes all these excuses for his own fantasy to come to life.
Yeah.
That's fine, except later a random guy drives by and says, "Hey, Satan, where's your pitchfork?"
Hey, Satan, where's your pitchfork?
And I'm like, why does that guy think this idiot is Satan? He doesn't look like Satan. Satan's red.
Yeah.
Satan has very different characteristics.
In this world, I'm not sure they know what Satan looks like because the boyfriend goes to dress up like Satan, and he just dresses up like a weird mook, like a stretched moe with like no hair from Three Stooges.
What, you think you're gonna be a big movie star? You're gonna be a big nothing, that's all.
Honestly, spitting image of his own folly that he's trying to dress up
Kinda,
like.
yeah.
So that did it for me there.
Who's Alex?
My son.
Excuse me?
I have a son in college, if you can believe it.
What held that toupee on?
Movie magic.
Movie
Stephen.
magic.
Movie magic. Spirit powder.
Yeah. Gum?
Gum. It can't be gum. Spirit glue? That's not it either. Powder.
Better watch out. Satan's getting you.
I don't get it. How's he gonna get me if I'm Satan? I don't get it.
But while we're like, accepting things, this guy comes home with the daughter who's come from college. They live on this weird island town, whatever, with Bell Island. Yeah. And they're not dating yet. This is actually their first date, as she states.
Yeah, she's very nervous.
It's him coming home with her to sleep at their house.
He might stay over.
This is their first date. At one point, he is really the serial killer dude in disguise, like gropes her breasts. She's totally cool with it. First date, big trip across the country potentially. First date.
Yeah.
Like all this shit where I'm like, what the like? None of that makes sense to me.
No, the whole premise of them. So like, Alex, is the boyfriend. He takes the kid out. I'm just gonna call the kid. I forget his name. And they're supposed to go shopping and do whatever they're doing. Mm-hmm. They come home, but the swap has been made.
Yes.
And everyone thinks, oh, this is your quote unquote boyfriend Alex in the costume.
That is so fantastic!
And then he's doing all these crazy, horrible things.
Mm-hmm.
Not talking, touching people weird, takes a picture of Amanda Plummer's feet, and that's when they go, this is too weird, what are you doing?
Alex, it's too weird. Stop.
That was too much. But the groping and the weird, it's like a weird sex scene that doesn't make any sense because he's covered in a costume.
Well,
it's so strange.
Do you consider a costume a condom? Because it's both latex. I think you'll find it.
It's both latex.
I think it would apply.
Well then, have your way. No more.
But yeah, there's a weird cunnilingus thing, like through his mask that has no tongue slot.
Which can't be happening. So I don't know what I'm supposed to think's happening there. But she's into it. She loves it.
Yep.
It's this comedy beat thing of like they don't realize that it's not him, right?
Yeah.
So I assume, this is building up to them eventually killing Alex. Because they think, like Alex has been doing all this bad stuff, right? Mm-hmm. I think that the other guy in the costume is going to be doing everything. He goes around the corner. Alex comes around the corner, not wearing the costume, and they go, "Hey, you've been ruining our whole day. What are you doing?" And it's this mistaken identity thing.
Well, you almost accidentally got into the answer.
No, but that's what I mean. So like the movie dodges that I can't even articulate it. The movie has them do that after it's been proven in like two different ways that the killer will put someone else in the costume and that the killer can wear a different costume. Yeah. Then he does that trick again with a new costume for Alex, who then his like loved ones or like whatever murder.
They
so
murder
dumb.
Alex with like such fiery passion, and there's no question as to why he just like is like nonchalantly being stabbed.
Like Buddy Jesus over in the corner of the basement. This bothered me so much because it is accidentally almost supposed to be the right answer, but it's done so wrongly for me, right? Where I'm like that bothers me more than just like, I thought it was gonna be a mistaken identity, but but it's not, right? Meh, right?
Yeah, I think there were some weird side steps here, but like I think for how weird the movie is, it's still great. Like
you like this movie a lot, I feel like.
Again, I only seen it twice now, counting this viewing, and I think there's such like weird things in this movie that make it worth watching.
There are some high points, but I think overall it like does not work.
I have it on my. It was like, and again, it's really weird. It must have left a big impression that first time I watched it because
it's super weird.
Having only seen it once, I like put it in my top 10 low budget movies. Like I had a picks section.
I think if you're a low budget horror fan and you're looking for like unique things for your collection, things that other nothing else has done, like this earns the spot there, right? Mm-hmm. But I kept being like, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? Like it feels so
there's
weird
definitely questions here. And the way things go, and like they conveniently don't show him do his most dastardly like killing all the cops because that would be hard to do because he's not displayed to have really any powers or really any fighting prowess. He fights kind of like a thug.
The way he beats up Alex in like the alleyway is so funny. And just the whole lead in where he's like, I don't get it, I'm the devil, what's going on? And then whoop, guy grabs him and he's like
pummels him.
He does like wrestling moves where he just grabs people's heads and shoves them into things and stuff.
Yeah, well that is a very effective move. like pushing someone's head repeatedly into a brick wall.
I am not
fuck them up.
I'm not a fighter. I'm a movie watcher, so I expect things to happen differently.
I did think it was odd that he didn't when he sits, he carries Alex to an abandoned house and puts him on a couch, and then it's a pitchfork, and I'm like, I should stab that into him because that's what you do. There's a lot of weird things when our boy first happens upon him, he's just killed a guy and he puts dirt on his chest and plants a flower.
So he's holding a flower,
but his face is totally exposed. And this is that guy's house. So anybody who would trick or treats in that neighborhood conceivably would be like, that's not a prop, that's dead Mr. Jenkins. He didn't really cover his back at all. Yeah. There's a couple of weird flaws like that. I love the call out of the shoes though.
The shoes are a major part of this movie.
Yeah.
Because he recognizes her shoes when she's wearing the big Tweety Bird mascot thing.
That costume, you're stealing a costume. Money is no object, I understand. But you have to steal the most expensive costume, like a mascot costume. You're looking to fight somebody.
We have to hurry. I can't stand this thing.
Wouldn't you want, I don't know, something mobile?
Yep.
Anything that covers your face would have been fine. A masquerade mask and just changing your clothes would have been perfectly acceptable.
Just put on more functional, evil-busting clothes and then put on something
Maybe
to
some
hide
leather.
your face. Yep.
The mom dressing her up like a whore, and even saying I think she says oh, I've got my whore costume or something.
You're a busty wench, something like that.
Would you like to wear what I made for myself last Halloween?
A Renaissance slut? I still don't know what you were thinking.
Yes.
Her accent to herself in the mirror is the cringiest part of the movie.
That literally destroyed me.
Not that the blokes be looking at me face when they got these tender morsels in their hands.
Because at first I was like, is she making fun of the way her mom talks? But no, it keeps coming up. And I'm like, oh, this is your busty wench, accent. I can't be kissing latex.
I can't be kissing latex.
Or something that's crazy. And then I'm like, oh no. And then, because I checked IMDb, I'm like, you're on Vikings. How do you sound there?
No, she's made a career of an accented character. So this should just be that she was
amazing.
young. I don't know how old she was in this. Certainly one of her first leading roles, I would imagine.
I think so, yeah.
And I actually do like her in this movie. Yeah. I think there's some lines that I'm like, I don't even know who would deliver that one nicely. Nobody.
No, and she's putting a lot into it because she has to act and react and act and react. And when she's like, that's not Alex in that costume. No, Mom, you don't understand. She's doing all that. I'm like, okay, you're doing
some of that,
here.
though, is the worst where I'm like, that would be the easiest part to be like, that's not Alex. What do you mean? No, Mom, look at the shoes. That's not him. She could have said any of those things, but instead gets her mom kidnapped.
He's also a different height. I imagine he smells like shit.
The height could be explained by the costume, because there's those weird shoulder pad, head, whatever things.
But you can tell when you're you can tell who someone is. People can feel that that's not the same person, right? And just wait till he turns around and then snatch the mask off. What are you doing?
Something.
It's crazy. And again, I am willing to suspend my disbelief to some degree, but at a certain point, the whole thing hinges on this weird, non-paid off mistaken identity thing. Because, at a certain point, he's just a bad guy then, and they're just playing along and going across town and doing all this crap. What's happening?
Can you pose for a picture?
Yeah. He shoots himself in the hand and then dresses up like Jesus. And I was like, oh, I like that. I wonder if he had the forethought ahead of time to be like, okay, this is my Jesus wound.
Did you like how, though, the boyfriend's like, it's my dad. Yeah, because he went like this. He gave me the Kevin Smith, gave me that.
You better say something. I'm going to blow your fucking head off.
And then, he shot himself in the hand and just walked away, to humiliate me and let me know he can just do this to me whenever he wants. And the girlfriend's like, okay, yeah, it's reasonable.
He could have killed me when he had the chance. Instead, he took the gun and he shot his own hand and then handed it back to me. Just to humiliate me, to show me he can keep on doing it forever.
And I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Well, what the fuck is happening was, I think, what I said out loud when he first notices he's like, Dad, I need help. Oh, the killer's right there. And he walks away, almost setting up perfectly the door to open for this guy to kill his family. And the guy, his dad is stooping.
Stooping.
I don't think that was his mom.
No, she says, I work with your father. Yeah. My name's Nicole, whatever. That's
so not that he cares that she dies, but that's a random nudity thing that she on camera twice.
I was just gonna say, AKA the actress willing to show TNA in this movie.
Hi, Alex. I'm Nicole. I work for your dad.
They draw a smiley face on her.
Yeah.
I won't show that.
We can't, but yes, he turns her naked torso into a weird Homer Simpson-esque smiley face.
Yeah.
Show that.
Mick, are you hungry? I'm always hungry. Now make with the pizza, fatso.
The dad through the glass. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Just because of what that is, that's a screen door. Those aren't made of glass like that. Those are plastic.
Well, that one's made of glass.
Apparently. It did shatter pretty damn good, so yeah, I guess it was.
Almost like that weird sugar glass stuff that shatters into tiny little pellets.
Have you lost your mind?
So like two things that are like, kind of throwaway that I just want to make sure I mention while they're in my head is Saddam Hussein walks out of the costume shop and he's
Allah
like,
Akbar, or whatever he said.
Allah be praised.
Yeah, okay.
Allah be praised.
He says it in English.
And then there's a part where he kills a cat. Like he just like you're talking, pushes it like to death. And then writes boo. Like it's a brush. And that's just such a ridiculous scene. I love it.
that, and I'm glad you mentioned it.
Yeah.
Because that to me, and this is going to sound crazy, but that was a turning point to me in the movie. Now, he's obviously killed those people at the house in the very beginning.
Yes.
But the same makeup and effects that are telling me as an audience of this movie could have been used in that movie. And it could all just be this weird thing where the kid's misunderstanding or something's going on or whatever. And he beats up Alex, but he very clearly does not kill him. So him smushing the cat was like, oh, no, he is a deranged killer and there's no potential for even a very outlandish, unrealistic misunderstanding. He just is the bad guy.
No, I would say it's a turning point for me in that like, oh, they're doing a lot more than they like, because that's not something that is pivotal to the plot. You didn't need to do that. That's just like, we spent money to make this shot that it's part of my vision and I want it to be done.
It's just
and I was like, oh, right,
exactly.
I love that. Like, where do you think this is filmed? Like, what part of the country?
Canada.
You think Canada?
I don't know why.
The supermarket, to me, had such a weird look where like it had this middle America look from the inside, but then outside, it's like a zombie apocalypse fucking thing. Did you catch like how it's like surrounded by a cage that has like a door that can swing that like can totally seal it off? So I was like, is this an area where like hurricanes hit or something? I don't know what that is.
Canada or hurricane. I have no idea. That's weird.
Oh, it was super weird. Like I was like, what is this? And can I buy it? Like I want to live in one of those.
Perimeter? You mentioned that place, though, where they go shopping and everything. Yeah. The highlight there is the shopping cart scene afterwards, right?
Oh, my.
This is
yeah. That's a mix of, like, it does feel very budget, but it's also amazing that it exists.
Yeah. Blind man! Bonus points!
He hits a blind person, a pregnant lady.
Look, a baby carriage!
A baby carriage.
Now... So I'm gonna give you like a good bad here, right? Because what's great is the kid is just so like the way this works for me is when the kid is like, yeah, get him, send him to hell, and he's into it, right?
Yeah.
Look, a pregnant lady. Cool.
Yeah. But I feel like that's all undermined when he sees his own father be like, vivisected, and then says, "I didn't mean it. I'm sorry," and starts to like freak out.
Well, because he killed him in the exact words he said. He said like pull his guts out.
Put me down, or I'll tell Satan to cut your guts out.
Oh yeah? Well, go ahead, because I got God watching my back.
Satan, quick! Come and spill his guts out!
But then he goes back, and like later, he's a gullible idiot believing all the same dumb shit again later. It's so weird. But like that's the perfect tone for me. Is like, perhaps a homeless person, perhaps a serial killer, some deranged mute monster guy, like going through the parking lot with the kid like yeah, like it's never-ending story. Like he's just all happy. Let's go, and they're just ramming into random people, and everyone's like, oh my god, what's going on? And everyone's flustered, and it's all crazy.
50 points! Yeah! Try to hit the baby carriage!
That's the tone that I feel like this really hits its like stride with, right?
Well, certainly the outlandish nature of it is
what I want.
Is what makes me keep coming back.
Well,
like the mom duct taped and choking to death as she like just writhes around.
Did you like this?
I thought it was so ridiculous that it's amazing.
It is. I also
not
hated
good.
it, I think. Yeah.
It is hate-worthy, but it is something where like, I could see it written in the script, and then somebody was about to film and go, well, that can't work. How would that work? Well, it's in the script. We got to shoot it. All right, let's do what we can do.
So here's why I hated it. Because he like tapes her nose shut and she goes, oh no, like I'm gonna die now. Or like the whole time, you could have just been like oil can and been like saying stuff, but she just like doesn't talk. And that's a movie, it's fine, whatever. But now that she's like taped up, and now it's this epic struggle to get across this relatively small room, and it's just like, oh no, everyone's whatever. But then this is the movie thing where I'm like, why are you doing this to me, movie? Where like she finally gets to her. Oh no, she's safe. She's like trying to get the tape off. Oh right, we've been setting up the whole time that she bites her nails, and her mom's like, stop biting your nails.
Show me your hand. Come on, show me. Oh, you're biting them again. Don't embarrass me.
And she's like, does anyone have nails? And they even dub in, dub in someone saying, no, sorry, or whatever.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And then seconds later, it just, oh, we got the tape off. It's fine. And I'm like, that was the point of the scene, was to be like, does anyone have nails? I wish I didn't keep biting my nails. Hey, honey, don't feel guilty. Your mom's not dead because of you, or some other bullshit. Or like the boyfriend could come in, or something has to happen, and then the tape's off, and Amanda Plummer says, I told you not to bite your nails. And there's some weird, something has to happen there. And just like the like negative space, the black hole, the like lack of like a payoff to that very obvious thing just bothers me so much. And it's going to bother me for the rest of my life.
I thought even the attempt, though, was leagues ahead of like people that are in their direct comparison.
At this like budgetary range.
Yeah, at this budget, at this time.
They're doing stuff. They're trying for things, definitely.
Like there is a script, there's a vision, there are things happening, and like most of them hit in one way or another, and like whether they hit in that is so ridiculous or that is good, both of those things work to be memorable, and I think that is something that Satan's Little Helper has.
No, if you are a collector of like unique things, we're skipping over a bunch, but there
so
are
many
things that happen here where you're like, why? What is happening here? What is going on? Yeah, and it definitely serves its role in that.
So, again, like I mentioned those little details. There's a couple more that really stand out. There's a transvestite, a car caddy. What do you call those?
I mean, it's Halloween. We can just say they're dressed as a
a
lady.
But the way that gentleman delivers the thing,
it's like, a good thing.
It's like, I need the red SUV. He's like, you need a ticket.
You need a ticket, honey.
Grabs it, runs. Fuck it.
I need the keys to the red SUV.
You need a ticket, love.
Hey, yo!
Fuck.
just this like Guido guy's voice coming out of this like Cher impersonator.
I literally thought of that scene for some reason with whatever you were saying last. That's perfect. I was like, because like yes, like you don't have to film that scene. You can just cut to like them back in the car. But that's that's the perfect example.
Little attentions to detail
of
that
putting
make this
stuff
movie.
in to do the thing.
There's lots of costumes in this movie, so a lot of things featured on Halloween either like limp out and they don't have it, or they're like really homemade half-ass costumes. But there's a lot of costumes in this movie.
What a great Chiquita! But what's with the tape? Chiquita the mummy?
There's a weird town crier drunk guy that stops him. He's like, the police are dead. Something.
It's Armageddon.
He's speaking in like old English and weird shit.
You must take sanctuary in the cathedral at once. The police station burns with the fire of hell. Soon all the constables will be dead, and then God help us.
He's like, what are you saying? He goes, the cops are dead. There's only 2 left. Get out of here, kid.
Hey man, cut out all the bullshit. What are you talking about?
No man, I'm not kidding. 3 cops fried to death. There's only 2 of them left in the whole fucking island. You better get your ass home fast.
He's embraced it. He's like, there's a conflagration. Like all the constables are dead. He starts doing all this Irish, weird Gaelic, whatever.
It's so strange because he's panicked, but he's keeping up the shtick.
But he's keeping it together enough to really deliver. Or it's a mistake and he just yells and doesn't do the accent hard enough, right? I don't know which one it is.
And Jesus is Satan.
What are you supposed to be? A he/she. What? It was a guy and a girl just sewed together.
Hey, so here's to, what the hell are you 2 supposed to be?
We're a he/she.
And like, these
with
are
like
things.
ambiguous makeup or something. Yes,
it was super strange. The weird Pinocchio guy making sex jokes. There's a lot of stuff here.
He's no good, man. He's the devil. And I've never seen him this horny.
It's very cringy when they arrive to the party, though, and the whole thing.
At like a castle.
Like, yes, well, yeah, they're very excited to go to the castle. Where's the quiche?
they fucking like pratfall her into a railing and she like goes down.
Yeah.
Like these little things.
So like that worked for me because I thought because she like falls out of the car.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. Are you alright?
But
are you guys pulling my leg or whatever the fucking valet says? Valet is the word I couldn't think of before.
Okay. I was gonna say.
You guys busted my chops. Have a good night.
So you said transvestite instead of valet. No.
I think I said like car transporters.
Car man. Car store man.
Car butler.
Yeah, she like hits the banister, I think, or whatever.
He walks her like right into it.
But like I didn't take it like he was doing it on purpose though.
I don't know that he could see out of his mask.
Yeah, I like those felt like accidents to me. So I was kind of like, I like this for its weird, dark, casual, because I always think of it's one of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre things where someone gets hit in the face and both of his front teeth get knocked out, and like the whole
bust a gut.
Yeah, but like the whole Twisted family is just laughing so hard. That's the funniest thing they've ever seen.
How about that? Look at that shit. We got something else in common now.
And the guy's like,
I'm in the theater laughing my ass off, just saying.
You do like when people get hurt in real life too, but like something about the casual, like the casual torture of like things, right?
Yeah.
That was like, oh, there's something here with that, but I'm like, not really, because they're all accidents, and like he poisons the thing, but then he leaves, and people drink it, and they're like, this tastes like shit. Better keep drinking, and it's like, what's happening?
Not bad. Bad.
Like,
I don't know how much it takes to kill you, but it didn't seem like he even put enough in there with how diluted it would have been.
To kill one person, yeah.
But like, we see off screen like he makes little cocktails of like pills and candy that they do give away to those little jerks, the Ninja Squad.
The Ninja Team.
And presumably they're dead now. I hate them.
Do we ever follow up with them? I don't think we do.
No, but like they run away like, your Satan friend's killing people.
Holy shit! They thought that is real.
Come back, hey nerd, you got candy for? I'm like, did these get filmed out of order?
I actually thought so.
But then he says like, you thought you scared for that fake hanging or whatever.
So dumb.
At least I didn't think that stupid hang lady was real. Hey, we were trying to trick you. Lie.
And I'm like, okay, they didn't get filmed out of order. I think I would have liked it better if they were filmed out of order.
It's so dumb. Yeah. It feels strange. Exactly.
Very.
So we're kind of circling the drain that I want us to go down.
Mm-hmm.
Allow me to just read something here.
Sure.
From Wikipedia. A satirical comedy on the influence of video games and fiction, the distinction between fantasy and reality for a child, and the danger and power of Halloween, all in a movie filled with blood, guts, and black humor.
That's accurate.
I did not know that I was watching a comedy.
Well, it's not. It's comedic at times, but I would say it is the forefront. It is a B-movie horror.
I got through the whole movie and was like, that was like unique, weird, kind of sucked, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then, read this. IMDb says comedy, horror.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh my God, was it supposed to be a comedy? It completely blew my mind that they were going for humor here. And
I think that's an after the fact thing.
I don't know if that makes it better or worse or how I'm supposed to take that. Yeah, it's very strange.
I think that it's kind of like when you make a bad movie, and again, I like this movie a lot.
Tommy Wiseau is the go-to example.
And
where
you laugh.
You like retcon
and then
like,
say it's a comedy.
It was a brilliant subversion of the genre. I didn't just make a bad movie. Yeah, exactly. But
I think it's like you wrote a book. Some critics saw the red shirt as the rage of your ostracized people, and you went, yes, I'm deep.
Yes,
like,
I do lots
something
of
like
deep
that,
things.
maybe.
I don't know. I wonder. I thought maybe you would
but
know,
it was
like, more of the
competent
story
enough as a
behind it
film
and
that
stuff.
like I do also believe those things. So it doesn't really matter one way or the other because it's how you take the movie personally.
Oh yeah, I'm just curious if I was really watching a comedy or not because I'm still not sure.
I don't know. I think there's definitely comedic things, but I think I both laughed at things that were probably intended to be comedic and things that were not. So at the end of the day, I don't care how you got me someplace. You got me there, and take my money. I do have a question for you though. What do you think was the scariest mask? Was it him as Satan? Him as Jesus?
Come in.
Or him as police officer? Which kind of looked like Thanksgiving's mask.
You look different.
Oh.
Oh, you got a haircut.
Yeah.
We don't get a good look at the police officer thing, and let's put a pin in that.
Okay.
Jesus was creepy in like a different way.
Like a doll.
But I actually think that the Mr. Satan whatever mask is a super dope mask.
It is a pretty good mask. I meant to actually look and see if I could find that mask, because I don't think they produced anything for this movie. I think everything was
oh, like you can get this from the original
I feel like
source?
It's probably, well, I don't know anymore because this was quite a while ago, but I believe, I think these were purchasable, outfits.
That's cool. No, I haven't. I don't think I've seen that exact mask before. I thought maybe they did something to a mask, if for yourself.
I always do like when you see movies and you do go, I've seen that mask at the Halloween store, and again, this one I haven't personally seen, but I'm not a big costume aficionado.
No.
I will do some Googling in the post work on this video, and if I can find it, I'll throw it up.
I think it's a damn good mask, and it like works in the role, because him being silent and weird and creepy and just that weird like look on the face that your brain like turns into like a real thing after, and like staring at it for long enough, it like works.
The silence is what definitely works. A lot of those masks, what ruins them is that like it is the teeth showing. Well, no, but it's having a static face, and then if you were to talk at all, well, that's not moving. So by having these oversized masks, it breaks the illusion. But when you're just a smiling, grinning nut job, that works a lot. Do you think this was the mayor's son or whatever the guy that was shown on the TV as the arsonist?
Oh, yeah. It could be the guy from the news report.
Billy Flarin?
I ran into a guy who told me that the police station burned to the ground. Isn't that what Billy was known for?
No, so I was
or is this totally unrelated? There was a minor fire, in the police station. So, like, I guess you could say, since we only know of one arsonist and there was fire, yes, it could be him.
Anybody can arson.
Sure.
But no, so I figured
and you can too.
I figured if you follow your dreams, if you believe in yourself, you too.
Give a hoot, light some shit on fire.
Can be the life of the party on Halloween. I don't know. I thought you might actually not like that. How we don't know who the killer ever was.
Well,
right?
I do like not saying. I do like never seeing the face in actuality. I think
that's key, actually.
That's what's actually kind of great about that little shitty mask at the end, and that no one notices or whatever.
Mom, why doesn't he say something?
He's afraid Satan will hear him.
It's okay.
For far too long.
We'll talk about it now.
Why is he not talking? Is like in the ending credits.
We're dubbing in Mom. Why is he not saying anything? As if so you just see kind of like the back of the face, sort of.
Yeah.
But it looks like a cop has showed up with a slice of bologna taped to his face.
Yeah.
It looks
it's
so
like a Leatherface looking thing.
Yeah, and I'm like, who's believing this? They must think, oh, it's Halloween, so the cop's dressed up. Like, I don't know what's going on. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Right? That's totally crazy. So that doesn't work. He adds the third six to the door and like something, and I'm like, what's happening? What the fuck
My
is
first
happening?
note for those things is like, it's like, if you're not a person who's familiar with spray paint, how many times do you think you practiced before? How far away should I be to make this 60 accurate size here? Is it just going to smear and spray downward? I just get these stupid images as a person who like does spray paint stuff.
Trying to make the thing. I feel like that's a one and done. That's a one take wonder.
Well, it's certainly a one take wonder in actuality, but I wonder if there's like a piece of like a plywood over
where
here
they were working it out. Yeah. I wonder if you can even see. I wonder what's going on.
That's another big factor for a lot of the costumes this man wears. That Jesus one, there's something about it where I find it very eerily creepy because it looks enough like a person, but enough like there's that uncanny valley of like puppet doll mask.
No, like especially when it shows up behind the boyfriend when he's cradling his dead father, and then he notices it and it goes whoop, and like turns and stuff. Oh god, has a weird uncanniness to it.
There's an oddness though, like where I either would have liked him to shoot both his hands or like that injury to have something to it.
It matters. It doesn't matter at all.
Or them to not pull the mask off of Jesus, but to realize his hand isn't bleeding or something like that, and then like come to the realization, wait a minute, his hand's not bleeding, or like how he's cocked up like this. If I'm to redo it, my like script doctor thing would be his hand is stabbed to the wall or something, and then she realizes like it's not the right hand or something. Like
I actually would have accepted. Look at his shoes again.
Sure.
Wait. Oh no! Because then because that's your like cinematic triple where you have the multiple you have like one last shoe
or
thing,
she lifts his robe and he's not wearing shoes and she's like
Jesus should be wearing sandals. Yes, exactly. Or maybe they see the cop's shoes, right? Or maybe the audience sees the cop's shoes. Something. What the hell's going on?
Did we see the cop's shoes? For some reason, I have a black leather thing on the shoes. But
well, that's the whole thing. Is like again, like it's kind of like the who has nails thing, where I'm like, I feel like it's malpractice to not click these safety belts all the way in and feel that satisfying click or whatever.
Yeah.
Because why show me the baloney face? Just move the camera down. Show me that it's the same shoes from earlier.
Because we don't know the face, so that could be shown and it wouldn't matter.
Well,
but to not reveal that it was, I'm pretty sure. The reason why it didn't look to me, and again, a file photo could be how many years old. I thought the kid had like a mohawk or something, and then you saw black hair.
Yeah.
This Halloween marks the
look, Billy Flaren.
Billy Flaren arson incident.
Seems like he's grown up or something. Yeah. Or how many? I don't know how many years ago they said that was.
I don't either.
But
again, also the photo could be 20 years old. You have no idea.
It's in that news footage though. But like the face means nothing to the rest of our characters, right? So they could be seeing it.
For sure.
Just don't let the audience see it.
Yeah.
And don't use baloney or something. Unless
I think it was a plastic mask.
Yes, it was obviously, but it was like brown and looked shitty. So I'm like, okay, it's baloney, whatever. But the point is that that's like more of that stuff that I'm talking about that doesn't that's like am I watching a comedy? Is that meant to be a joke? Or is this just, this is what happened? I don't know.
That was just a little Easter eggy twister ending, it's not maybe a sequel.
Oh, he's still out there.
Yeah.
Satan's little help.
And I like that.
Yeah. Well, a nice twist here would have been everyone's like, oh, I'm so glad that's over. And then you realize the kid is still in his wanting to help Satan mode. He just realized that wasn't Satan, and then he's going to keep going or something like that, and it's about him now. He's the connective tissue. Something.
We'll pick it up 20 years later.
Woo! Get that same kid. He's not doing anything.
Not doing anything at all.
At least not related.
He's only been creating
creative
two things, and I think the other thing happened before this one, because it's shouted out on the back of the box like it's a big achievement.
Like the star of blank.
Yeah.
What's up, my nigga?
I really liked the father. He's not in it very much at all, but I thought he had a good charisma to him.
Oh, listen,
I was a little sad that he died right away, but I liked him. I liked him a lot.
Trick or treat?
What are you supposed to be?
I am a serious businessman. Coming home to check out my son's excellent castle!
Yes. My notes say, the father arrives, and it's a breath of fresh air. Next line, he immediately dies.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
And that kid is going to need all of the therapy.
Oh, God.
Like literally all of it. Like, well,
may have to
what
become a
brings you
therapist.
here to me, Timmy? Well, I was hanging out with a serial killer as I thought I was helping Satan, and I asked him to gut my father, and he did. Right in front of me. Then we lost my sister's boyfriend. He killed all the cops in town. He kidnapped my mom at one point. Molested my sister. I want to marry her. And at the end, he may have killed us all. I don't know.
Therapist is like, cancel all the rest of my appointments for the day.
You get me a padded cell, please?
Thank you. Yes, exactly. No, like the therapist would be like, "That was you. I know about that from from the news. Like the most famous.
That's a case
thing
study.
That ever
We
happened.
talked about that when I was in college.
Exactly. That's a really funny way to put it too. Is like I was hanging out with a homeless man or like a serial killer or some random guy as he just murdered people. Oh no. I didn't know that's. I thought it was Satan. Obviously, don't be ridiculous. And they're like, what? Fuck. And you're like,
that doesn't help your cause.
I was a kid. There was a video game. All right, chill.
How old were you? 3rd grade. Didn't know right from wrong. Are you a sociopath?
So how old is that? Like 8 or 9 years old? Like that's not. Yeah, right. I was cutting up pets in the neighborhood, and then it segued naturally into this.
As you do.
No, like the game is actually so like addictive or whatever.
Yeah, the mom catches herself like after 1 second of holding it, she's like, oh, take this away.
Mom, the door. Take this, please.
The mom like forgets to open the door, sort of, and then the valet people are like, totally, engrossed with it.
Look. Satan's ripping out his guts. That's gotta do points for that.
So I, again, as an attentive movie watcher, was like, oh, the game has power or something. There is something going on. There is more to it. There is not.
That would be cool.
It's just a fun game.
Another fun thing, like while I'm script doctoring, whatever, if you were gonna do a alternate type of an ending where they win, it would be cool if like the cop that saves them like Officer Christ or something like that, so like the kid could be like, God. Like some bullshit like that.
His first name's Christian. What's his last name?
Christian Jesus.
Christian something. Yeah, Christian whatever. Yes, exactly. No, because then, like, the Mr. Satan Man could have been someone who was also obsessed with the game, like, off camera, days before, and now he's emerged as, like, haha, I'm doing the thing, or whatever.
He's just some poor, like, middle management schlub that sunk all his money in a pay-to-win strategy, and he has nothing left.
He was just buying gems in Satan's Little Helper until he finally went insane and said, I'm doing it for real.
They should have released this game as a shitty Flash game. I would have played it.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if when you put that disc in to a computer, if you can't play the game, right? No,
you
right?
Can't.
That sucks. Waste that opportunity.
A lot of things are.
You made bajillions.
No, but I think this is definitely one to watch. If you made it this far and you haven't somehow seen this movie, I don't think ruined every part of it. I think you could totally watch this as a serviceable Halloween movie as we enter this glorious season. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
If you want to support the show, head over to cannibalvideo.com, pick up some merch.
And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's something.
Whatever.
Fuck these motherfuckers.
Where did you get that coat? Looks like you robbed it from a Hasid.
Cannibal Video has everything you need. A wide array of VHS and DVDs. We ate the competition, now it's only us. Our expert staff opinion